Welcome to Lead or Be Led, where we talk about politics, life, common sense, and hopefully it gets people to look at things a little different. The last couple podcasts have went on tangent because just looking around, seeing things, and seeing how people are just not thinking. So today we're going to change it up a little bit. Sort of talk about some of my experiences with people through the years and what I've noticed. And, they put in a bunch of descriptions. But I want to primarily stay with the horse training business. But you got the people that really don't have nothing, but they need help with their horse, and they're willing to put the effort and work to it. And you got people that needs help with their horse, and they're not really wanting to put the effort. They think it's a car. You give it a tune-up and give it back to them, where they're more likely to create the problem to begin with. Then you got the rich people, which I don't have no qualms against them. But you got two different kinds of rich people. You got the ones that made it on their own, fought for it, and then you have the people that give it to them. And there's two different people most of the time, not always, but because the ones that work for it, they appreciate good work, and they're willing, if they got a problem horse or even just a regular training horse, put effort because number one, they're spending good money, but they want to keep it going after the horse goes home. Now a lot of these people that was given to them and born into it, they expect you to do everything. And when they get the horse, if they got a problem horse especially, they expect the problem is fixed. Well, I got the problem controlled, and it's never fixed. That problem's always underlining. It'll always be there, because it's an animal, and most time the problems have been created. So if you handle the horse right, you won't notice the problem's even there, and the problem won't arise. But if somebody else starts handling the horse a little different, then the problem's going to sneak back up. And like I said, these people, they expect everything to be handed to them, and then they go after you because you didn't do a job when you did a damn good job. They're just too damn lazy. But let's talk about the people who don't really have anything. They're putting the effort. I go out of my way a lot of times to help them. I have one client, God knows, going back 30 years now, that he didn't have much. He was able to give me so much up front. And he said, David, if you're willing to work with me, I'll give you so much a week. And if you need help around here, I'll help you out. So I said, fine. And then some weeks, the guy came up to us and said, I only got $10 to give you. I said, sure. Because, of course, that's why I don't have no money now, but that's still irrelevant. But he was ready to work hard and put the effort. And his horse needed help because he bought the horse like that, and that's the way it was. So, you appreciate them people. And you got to have respect for them. And I've had clients, doctors, dentists, lawyers, about every field you can think of, teachers, and a lot of the self-made people, and they are willing to put the effort to it. And most of them, like I said earlier, are willing to keep the work going after the horse goes home. Because people, that's what it takes. It's not going to hand it to you. But now, everybody seems like they want to hand it to you and they want it easy. But life isn't easy. It's hard. You're going to get knocked around sometimes. There are going to be good days, bad days, and you just got to go with it. And then, I got one particular client right now. If you see him, he dresses like I do, and you wouldn't realize how much he's worth. And I've had a lot of them like that. If you just see them in their everyday work clothes, you wouldn't do it. They're doing grunt work just like everybody else. So you got to respect that. They could take the easy way out. Like this one particular person, he can, he's in his 70s. He can just hire everybody to do his work for him, but most of it he tries to do for himself, what he physically can. And he's still physically going on pretty good. Then you got these people born to it, like I said, it's been handed to them. There's no worth ethic. Most of the time, there's no worth ethic in there. And the younger generation, it's really bad. They want everything given to them. And I'm not just going the old man's route and complaining about the younger generation. We all know it's true. Oh, I know a lot of the young people, they're still out there working hard. But they've been raised right. Things weren't given to them. They had to work for it. And that's what it takes. Well, you gotta let them fail. So I do have a point, but sometimes we're long-winded and it takes a while to get to the point. It drives Cindy crazy. So now we come to the present time, because I've seen people change, and not for the better. When working with people with their problem horses, I can tell a lot about that person. And no matter what I do, the horse goes home, it's going to have a problem. But here's what I notice. The problem's not so much how that the problem is how the person's handling the horse. But 9 times out of 10, there's an underlying issue. One of my favorite sayings way back when, was, this horse is not your husband or your boyfriend or your dog. It's a horse. So appreciate it and validate it for what it is. Bingo. The reason I say that, mostly women, I don't want to really pick on them, but mostly women, they're in a bad relationship or abuse as they're younger, and then they go to this horse and try to make up for that emotional loss that they have that's not in their life. And horse sees that weakness. See, they see it as a weakness. They don't see it as a strength. And they'll start getting self-protective. They'll start kicking out and doing this or that. You don't know how many times I've seen it. I work with a horse, and let's say a kicker, and I can pick up a feet, trim it, or do whatever I want to with it, and the owner goes and picks it up, and the horse is kicking at her. Because that's the kind of relationship they got. And chances are that's the kind of relationship they have at home. So there is a coordination between the two. I had one client, him and his wife, worked with a horse, and it's about 2 months went by, I guess. They came up, and I said, "We got to thank you." I said, "For what?" I said, "You saved our marriage." I said, "How did I save your marriage?" "We listened to you, David." And because I help you with validating the horse for what it is, I say also you got to do that with the people, your spouses, your lovers, whatever. You recognize what they are and validate the good points. And then so we start looking at each other different. We quit arguing as much because we try to look at it from their side. And even though we might not agree with each other, we validate what the other person has to say. So it saved their marriage. And that put a big smile on my face. Because these days, here's my point. What people are looking for. Number one, validation. They want to matter. They want to make a difference. But just like a spoiled kid who wants attention, some of them does bad things to get validated and feel important. Because unfortunately we got a society now that sort of feeds into it. The media lies. I mean, you take with the illegals. You got the left and Democrats are all terrible, picking these people up and shipping them back to where they came from. It's a hardly sin. Where's your humanity? They came here illegally. They crossed that border illegal. They're illegal. Most of them they try to pick up are the bad cases, but some people it's not such a bad case, they get picked up in turn and they got to get shipped out. I mean, that's just facts. If they came here legally, there wouldn't be no fuss. If we didn't let 20 million in the last 4 years prior, we wouldn't have to be doing this. But then you have these young people, you got two types of protesters. You got the one paying, getting paid. Then you got the ones who goes back to, wants to be validated and feel important and belong to something. But they're looking for the validation and everything wrong. When you start using physical violence, these ain't peaceful protests, and y'all stop that way of thinking. People need to speak up and say, no, this ain't peaceful. When somebody starts just throwing a bottle of water that's frozen at somebody, that's not peaceful. When they're trying to ram people with their cars, that's not peaceful. That's violent. And to me, you hit me, I'm going to hit you back. And perfectly, since I'm a little older now, I'm going to try to hit you real damn hard so I don't have to hit again. But we have to stop. And it's up to us as individuals to stop it, not the government. And say, David, how can you do it? I'm just one person. Don't bend. Say your piece. Never get upset. Hit them with facts. And I'll tell you, they will deny every damn fact you put out there. Because there's another thing people want. They want to be right. A beginning thing more so than anything. They have to be right. There's nothing against being wrong. That's how we learn. So these people looking for validation and a matter and all, I'm sorry. You don't get validated for tearing things up, calling people names. Because you take, I hate bringing them up, but you take President Trump. People call him Nazis and racist. And I always say, give me an example. And I don't want no talking points. I want example. Usually they'll give me some BS story or a fake thing from the fake news. There's no truth behind it. And they say, well, that's my truth. And as you said, heard me say in previous episodes, this BS of your truth, my truth, that's all that matters. Bullcrap. The only truth matters is the truth. That's it. Bottom line, the truth. And if you recognize that, you're a lot better off. Of course, that takes a person's excuse mechanism away from them. Because, they say, well, that's my truth. So Trump was hired by Russia, even though it's proven wrong. That's all Democrats pulled up the whole thing BS. And there's plenty of paperwork out there to prove it. They'll say, well, David, that's my truth. I said, but it's not the truth. It's been proven wrong. And I go through the list and I say, that doesn't matter. It's my truth because I feel that way. Or you take good old Hunter Biden, that laptop bull crap. It's not his laptop. And you prove it to him as his laptop. But it's not. But it is his. No, it's not. That's not my truth. So it can't be his. If it's his, all my complaining and ranting like an idiot is gone. I don't have that now. How can I feel important if I can't go on social media and rant and rave and put off a bunch of half crazy crap up there that's not true or half truths or twisted? I won't be important no more. I won't get be invalidated no more. See, there we go. Full circle. We're back to getting validated, feeling important, and make our life to make it like it matters. You can have a normal life. Go to work. If you're in the service industry, let's say electrician, plumber, whatever, there you go. You're important. You're giving a service to people. If you're a nurse, you're important. Stop all this rhetoric. It doesn't matter. You became a nurse to help people. And if you're helping people, there you go. There's your validation. You're helping people. You matter. You're helping people. You're important because you are in a medical field. Same way as if you're a doctor. I mean, even if you're flipping burgers, you're important because that person wants their cheeseburger quick. If they didn't have that burger flipper, they wouldn't have their dang hamburger, now would they? So even they are important. $20 an hour important? No. It's not that, that's, I can't believe we're at the point where these people flipping burgers are getting paid as much as somebody's got skilled labor in some states. So that's a different topic. So even and every one of us, if we dig and look into our souls, if you try to treat people right and everything, to me that's validation. It was a quick story. There was a woman in California. She was trying to get gas. She had an appointment, and it was important to her, and I didn't know her. She ran her bank card 3 times to get gas, kept declining it. So I knew the cashier, and I said, hey, give her $20 of gas, and I'll pay for it. I was not looking for validation. I didn't want to feel important. I helped that individual out. My validation was a big smile and that thank you that came from that was my validation. That's the kind of validation we need to look for. Not all this other BS on the internet and social media. Help people. That's all you need to do. And some things, let people do their job. I mean, it's not that hard. And go about, get back into your life. And if you don't have a life, think about how you can make your life better. Not throwing frozen water bottles. I guarantee you, if you go around trying to help a few people, that's going to give you more self-satisfaction than anything. Any damn tattoo you put on your arm, any nose ring or whatever body piercing you do, you try to really help people, but go at it that I do not want nothing in return for it. Nothing. If I get a thank you, fine. If I don't, then well, dang. That's that person's problem, not yours. So there you go. See, I changed it up today, and I got to my point. It just took a while. Anyway, it's time for me to go. I got horses to feed. Dealing with ice here from the last storm. It's getting a pain in the butt, and I'm over it. I got a chicken back here in a crate listening to us with her chicks. If you ever think chickens don't hatch out chickens in January, but it happens. So welcome to my life. When I do these podcasts or my horse videos, True to Horse on YouTube, my other channel, I'm letting y'all into my life. And, it's getting shorter by the day, which I don't like to think about. Well, unfortunately, at times I do. So anyway, God bless, take care, and try to be the best person you can be, but don't look for that validation. Help people to get it, and then you'll find your validation. God bless and take care.